So in verses 18 to 21 of the Havamal, I think what you get is a sense of the value of experience and moderation. Obviously, you've got to go out into the world and meet people and experience how people can be, positive and negative, to be able to judge your situations that you find yourself in. An experience is going to be a great teacher. And the caution of moderation is to enable you to learn, but also it's one of those things that shows how you conduct yourself and how people will receive you or perceive you, I suppose. I mean, to go on to the moderation side of things, which is what I want to talk about the most for now, is you'll always get someone saying this is bad for you, that's bad for you, you shouldn't do that, or things. And you can say things as simple as like sugar in your coffee or your tea. Too much sugar is bad for you, or anything really, etc., etc., etc. And my personal opinion on this is too much of a good thing will take away the goodness, the value you might have on it, so that you end up doing it as routine, habit. And perhaps the hardest thing is to moderate what you have so that you enjoy it more. There's some simple things like it's like the difference between Netflix and Amazon Prime. I mean, in Netflix, a series is released and you can binge watch it all. And I'm not going to lie, I will do that, mainly because I want to avoid spoilers, especially if it's from a big show, where especially if you go onto YouTube, you follow people on YouTube who break down episodes or talk about shows and that, someone's going to spoil it, so you want to avoid the spoilers. But I much prefer the Amazon Prime way of doing things, which is you get episodes weekly and you can digest something better, and I enjoy the anticipation from one week to the next of if you've got a cliffhanger or whatever and stuff, that you can moderate your enjoyment. It's, if something's 10 episodes long in a series, you've got 10 weeks of this series that sort of, I feel you absorb it better. But really, there's this whole thing with moderation that people might say fatty foods are bad for you. And it's just like, well, the human body does need fat. It's just have it in moderation. Alcohol is not necessarily good for your body, but it doesn't mean you can deny yourself having some. Have it in moderation. Yeah, it's just that sort of, these are the things that consistently within the Havamal are mentioned, and they're just like, well, that really makes sense. It really makes sense. Don't make a fool of yourself. Don't be a glutton. Don't make yourself appear laughable to other people. Be cautious against that, because obviously the other side of moderation is getting drunk or eating too much food or eating all the food. I mean, it's the worst sort of scenarios you can look at here is that sort of, I don't know, you go to have some food from a spread that someone's put out where you're our guest, and you got that one person who's, I don't know, standing by the table and just taking everything, and it's that sort of, don't be a bad guest, be a good guest. It's sort of, be moderate, don't sort of be a pig. So it's just that continuing theme of really a common sense guide that certainly these sections of the Havamal really present, that you can read it and go, yeah, it's just that's common sense, isn't it? I mean, it's yeah, common sense. I suppose it's one of those things like everything else in moderation, or some people seem to lack it. I'm not going to target anyone. I mean, I think the way the education system today, certainly here in the UK, seems to be, is a lot of kids are not being taught some really valuable life skills, or being suppressed in psychological ways that make it harder to adapt to the real world, the real life of things, and are struggling because they're not even got a moderate level of things. It's sort of, we've got all this box ticking, target hitting things that mean our children are meant to have certain skills and they don't necessarily have them. They don't have more of the important skills, which is sort of common sense. I mean, sort of, you look at some people and they just don't know how to operate in the average, ordinary world, and that's scary in a way, because I don't know, they're missing out on things. I'm digressing a little bit and going on towards making a bit of a statement of intent, which is not what I want to do, because I'm going to stay focused on the Havamal, and it's just that sort of experience and the ability to moderate what you do. I'm not saying don't have fun. Enjoy it. Everyone is entitled to enjoy their life the way they want to. And it's what was being discussed in the previous Havamal notes and verses of the Havamal. It's just, don't rid yourself of the moment or enjoying the moment by overindulging, and be willing to learn and engage with other people. Havamal notes 4, experience and moderation. See you soon. Take care. Bye bye.